In today's episode of the Best of Raleigh, we're chatting with Emily Bautista, founder of the Forever Young and Free, Raleigh's go-to boutique senior photography company. Emily's journey started back in her own senior year of high school, and now over a decade later, she's become one of the most sought-after senior photographers in the area, while also balancing life as a mom of 4. Emily's passion for capturing high-end, high-fashion senior portraits has turned her business into a one-of-a-kind experience, complete with a full glam squad to make every session feel like it's magazine worthy. Today, we'll dive into how she built Forever Young and Free and her creative process, and how she manages it all with the help of her tech wizard husband by her side. So let's get right into it. Emily, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
I'm excited to be here.
Welcome to the Best of Raleigh with your host and real estate expert, Gretchen Coley, owner of the Coley Group. This show is all about the people and places that make the Raleigh area so special. Here's your host, Gretchen Coley.
Yeah, I've been trying to get you on for a while.
Yes, it's been a busy couple months for both of us.
I know, it's been crazy. Well, so we know each other through, my daughter actually joined the Forever Young and Free team.
We love her. She's so sweet.
Yeah, well, when she brought it to me, and I realized what you were doing, I thought it was so cool to bring girls together who could shoot together all year and get to know each other, become friends, and then, take some of the stress out of the senior shoot.
Right.
So she has loved being a part of the team.
I always love to hear that. I love having that group of girls. They get to meet new friends, make new friends. You go through high school, you've got your first 3 years, and you kind of sometimes get caught up in that same group of friends, and it's fun to meet new people, have new experiences. So I like to introduce Forever Young and Free as meeting new people, making new friendships. As you're about to launch your college career, it's good to know more people from all around the community. So we get to come together several times through the year and just create priceless memories, and then hopefully that translates into making great friends.
Well, you make it really easy for the moms.
Good.
And speaking of making it easy for the moms, and how she does that is they do multiple shoots a year, so we get all of these incredible photos of our daughters with other girls. They're just beautiful moments at some of the area's best attractions, downtown Cary Park, Dix Park, all of the hot spots.
Right.
But you're a mom of 4, not just 4, but 4 girls.
4 girls.
How do you do it all?
I've always said, since I've had girls, the more you have to do, the more you get done, right?
I
So
believe
it kind
that.
of forces you to get very intentional with your time, your energy, and what you kind of want to focus on during the day. So usually my kids are always my biggest priority. So I make sure they're always taken care of, get them all set as far as schooling and activities. And then in my free time, that's when I get to shoot and have fun with all of that.
Are you done having kids?
I always feel
You never know.
you never know.
Yeah.
If someone were to hand me a baby, I'd say absolutely.
If someone were to hand me a baby, I would totally take it. I just wouldn't want him to be a kid.
Right.
I loved having a baby,
Right.
but now that my kids are so
There's
much
so
older,
many sweet things about having a baby. It's just now with the responsibility of my 4 girls, it's just, I want to give them all the time and energy that I have.
Absolutely.
I
I find it so special that you have 4 girls and you're running this team. So what inspired you to start Forever Young and Free?
Yeah, so I've been shooting. I got into photography right out of high school, so I knew that's what I wanted to do. I went and bought a camera. It was like a $300 Canon Rebel from Walmart, right?
You still have it?
I actually don't know where it is. Maybe I sold it. Anyway, I'm kept upgrading. So I started shooting everything. I shot rabbits, trees, whatever I could take a picture of. And then through the years, I got married young, had my girls. So I kind of focused on that. And I always knew I would go back to photography. So in the meantime, I kind of kept it as a little bit of a side hustle. I would do some family photo shoots. I did a lot of newborns. I did weddings. I did event photography. I tried it all, and it's such a good way to kind of figure out what you're good at. And then along the way, I had done some high school seniors, and I was like, this is really fun. It fit my lifestyle. I could work it into my week where I could schedule those on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and it wasn't eating up my weekends like if I were to do weddings or travel photography or anything like that. So
You're the master at engineering the schedule.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I use Google Calendars, and it means so much that you say that, because when I first started, I tried to just remember it all.
Yeah.
You know, and I had to learn, like, I need to get a process. I had to set up a process to make sure I could do it all, right? So using Google Calendars, getting a software that scheduled things out for me and sent information out to my seniors, and keeping everything on track. It took a while to learn, made some mistakes, misscheduled a few things. But, I mean, in the end, it worked out because mostly keep on top of things.
Sounds
now.
like my life. We need to have a sidebar conversation on your scheduling software and such. So, you know, putting this group of girls together, how many girls do you have this year? So you do a senior group, and you've started doing a junior group as well, correct?
Yes. So I usually have between 16 and 20 girls. So this next year, I'm actually going to have 18 girls.
Okay.
So some years we get a little bit more turnout than others, and I just want to include as many different high schools from around Raleigh as possible. So I will, you know, go through all the applications. We have all the girls apply that want to join the team. I'll read through those, and we'll try to get a great group of girls who are motivated, love to take pictures, and just here for the experience. And then that way we can really include a lot of the community.
I love that. So why is that togetherness so important to you? Because not only are you creating togetherness at home, but you're creating togetherness where you don't have to create togetherness.
Right.
And I had never heard of this like modeling team terminology until Caroline brought it to my attention. I just thought you schedule a senior shoot, you do it by yourself, and you do it. But what I've seen, how I've seen Caroline grow this year with this group of girls has really been a beautiful thing. Why is that so important to you?
I think a lot of times, especially in high school, we lack communities that are there just solely for lifting up you know, like these girls, right? Like they're in a lot of sports and activities in school, and a lot of those can be stressful, time consuming, and they're good for you, but also it's really great to have something you can go to where you feel beautiful, you get to wear cute outfits, you get to make friends, you get to meet new people, and then that just gives you like something to look forward to through the year as well.
And it builds your confidence.
Yes.
Because you're putting a group of girls that most of them don't know each other. They're from high schools all over the triangle.
Right.
So you might have one from Cardinal Gibbons, one from Holly Springs High, one from Apex High, one from Wake Forest. And these girls may not have crossed paths before. You put them in a room together, and you pull out a camera, and literally you have Cousin Couture is one of your sponsors. They sometimes bring in all the clothes. So it's like going in and playing dress up, right? Yes. And speaking of dress up, I want to talk about your studio in downtown Apex, because it is the cutest thing possible.
Thank you.
It's in one of the historic buildings. It's an old medical office.
Yes.
And you have several rooms set up. One for changing. You've now got a glam room.
Yep.
That has fabulous
outfits.
Was it pink boots that I fell in love with?
Silver boots.
Pink boots, silver boots.
We've got all the fun things.
Outfits, all kinds of fun things to dress up in. The space is totally your personality.
Thank you. Yeah. About 2 years ago, I found that space in downtown Apex. I'd been looking for a little bit. I've been, in the beginning, I would meet with people. We'd go to the makeup studio. We'd meet again at my home. I had a space set up there. But I just grew so quickly that just bringing everyone into my home wasn't like really feasible any longer. So I knew I had to find a space that was perfect to shoot in, to have a style closet. And that's something really important. I wanted to bring people into a space that felt like a great space to be, creative, beautiful. So I was really excited to be able to get into downtown Apex, and just, we're always shooting in and around Raleigh. So once we are ready to go, we'll shoot there, and then we'll head downtown Raleigh, or, you know, wherever we're heading out to shoot. And it's just a kind of great local spot to
It is a great local spot. And what I love about it too is after going through the whole process, and we're not done yet. We have a couple more shoots, thank God. Yes. But we've done Caroline's senior shoot. So being able to see it used to shoot the girls in their first session, and how you use the different rooms and the backdrop. She has a pink backdrop, for God's sake. It's beautiful. We love pink. And then to see how we used it to actually look at Caroline's photos after the senior shoot on the big screen and eliminate and pick out what we liked, and then laying out all the photos on the table that were printed so we could look at those and matching them up. You have such a great process. And then now adding the dress up room or the glam room, whatever you call it. It's just such a fun, unique space that when you walk up those stairs and you see the Forever Young and Free sign, your heart just gets happy. You've created something really beautiful. And I know it must have taken a lot of courage to do that.
Yeah. Every time I, made a big step, like launching the first shoot and just posting that until it caught attention, right? To get people to book or like signing the lease for that space. You never, there's no guarantees. And one of the things, like my motto that I've lived by every time I've done something is I'm already a success in the future. Yeah. So if I'm doubting myself, every time I look back on a decision, I could see how it worked out, for good or for, a lesson learned. I already know that it's going to be successful and all I have to do is try. So that's kind of my motto going into that and learning and growing.
That's probably going to be the best clip of this entire show, because if you are the mom of a daughter today, that is what you want your daughters to know. Yeah. To be fearless in your pursuit. Because I remember the first time I signed a lease for this space, I thought I was going to die. Right. Like I literally, but sometimes you just have to bet on yourself. Exactly. And showing up in the world is 90% of it, right? 100%. You got to be talented. You have to be creative, but you have to show up, and you have to show up consistently. Right. And what you're pouring into these girls is what you just said. Exactly. You're showing them how to do that, and it's such a beautiful thing.
Well, hopefully showing them, and also, creating something that I would want as a senior and what I would look forward to in the future to have for myself. And that's kind of when I started Forever Young and Free, how I set it up and designed it with like the outfits and the hair and the makeup. It's just what I would want, like what I would think of my ideal senior session.
Yeah. What do you think your girls will be a part of it?
The other day, they asked me, they were like, when we are in high school, can we join the team? And I was like, obviously, of course, you must be part of the team just by being there. And actually, I would be so honored that they would even want to be, so
I'm sure
I think it'd be so fun. And like, it's also kind of scares me because like 11 to the next 6 years, I'm like, that's high school, right? Like it's not that far away. So I was like, I have to start planning and thinking about that. But they all love taking pictures and being in front of the cameras.
I'm sure they do.
So that will have me in my feels. Every time I see like a mom tear up when they're looking at their pictures on the big screen, I'm like, I know it's coming for me. I already I could like think about it and just feel like a little
and you're in complete control of it, which is awesome.
Yes.
So tell me, let's walk through a senior shoot.
Yes.
Because if you don't have a high school senior yet, whether it's a boy or a girl now, and I've had one with a boy as well, and getting ready to do another one. What is the process of a senior shoot?
Yeah. So the process is, and hopefully some people find me on the internet. Some people find me being referred to by a friend, which is a great part of having the team. A lot of people can share, their experience, what they enjoyed about it, whether or not it's a scary, to go into a photo shoot, or whether it was just fun and had a good time. So that's a big part of it. A lot of the times when these girls come into it, they've actually followed me on social media for a few years, like even longer than that sometimes, which I'm so surprised by. And like, I love to hear that. So usually it starts with like knowing the brand, knowing what I do, what kind of photos that I offer. And then from there, usually once we've had a chance to correspond, choose a senior date, to do the photo shoot, we'll go into kind of the design and the plan of the day. So we'll schedule hair and makeup. I'll have them go through outfits, pick what they want to wear, what kind of fits their personal style, what they feel beautiful in. One of the things I like to do is kind of let them give me creative direction, and I'm always happy to help with that as well. But I like to make each shoot reflect their personality.
I love that.
I think you see a lot of photographers who are super talented, really great, but all the pictures tend to look almost the same, which is a great product, but it's not as client focused as what I like to do.
I agree.
Yeah. So once we've kind of figured out the outfits they want to do, we'll move to locations. So again, sometimes I'll suggest great places, good places to go, but a lot of times I'll kind of base off what outfits they're doing. So if they want to do something kind of colorful and fun, we might want to do that somewhere over by NC State, right? Or if they want to do something in front of a barn and they've got a pretty dress, I'm going to suggest one of the historic places here around Raleigh. So once we've got that figured out, we'll bring them into the studio on their senior day. We'll get them all glammed up. We have a great hair and makeup team. We use Wink Hair and Makeup, and they do such a great job of making people feel beautiful, but still looking like themselves, right? So once we've got that all, once we're all ready to go, we'll shoot at the studio sometimes, and then we'll head out to our locations. And typically our shoots are like 2 to 4 hours long. So you can kind of pick what works best for you, how long you want to be in front of the camera. And then once that's over, we've finished up the shoot, you'll always come back into the studio and we will go through, like you mentioned before, we'll have all of your photos printed and you can kind of look through and pick all your favorites and decide which ones you want to put on the wall or if you want to do an album or anything like that. So
it's such a fun process. How do you, but you take the stress out of it. How do you take the stress out of it?
Yeah, well, it's, you know, they say like to be a professional at something, you put in your 10,000 hours, right? So I think I've put in my 10,000 hours at this point. So I've kind of hopefully thought of everything that's going to come up along the way, whether, you know, someone having worries about how their skin looks on the day of, or if an outfit isn't working, or if we can't go to one of the shoot locations, you know, hopefully I'm already, like by the time we've come to that problem, I've already thought up a solution that kind of helps us get over that. And then just good planning, right? Like the schedule, knowing where we're going, having the hair and makeup set up. It's one more thing you don't have to think about, right? And then I think there's a lot of people who are great at we can take our own pictures, right? But it's like the part that you don't have to worry about that. You know, I'm gonna edit those pictures, make you look 100% beautiful, look like yourself, and you're gonna have that beautiful printed product at the end, and you don't have to figure out how to get there, right? Like, I want to bring you from the start to the finish and make sure you
easy
get
way.
Yes,
and you do that. Like you have made it so easy. It's almost mindless for the moms. Like we don't have to think about it at all. And I think you also instill such confidence in the girls. By the time they get to their senior shoot, they're just, you know, their personality, and you do a great job of bringing that out. You're so calm. I could never be a photographer because I'm not calm enough. I am like, always. So you do a great job at that, and I admire it. So, you know, obviously this show is about the people, places, and businesses that people need to know and do business with in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Raleigh and Apex to build your business?
Yeah, so I live in New Hill, very close to Apex, so I knew that's where I needed to be. I'm there all the time, and Apex is just such a close-knit, small community. So we started out in downtown, and my husband and I moved here to Raleigh about 10 years ago, and it's just been the best experience. As hard as it was to come to a new place, like everyone was so welcoming, and one of the things about having a team is I've been able to really grow my community. We didn't know anyone when we moved here. I think we knew one person. So by doing it this way for we're going on 7 years now, I've been able to meet hundreds of people. I mean, if not thousands, right? When you count like family and friends. So it's just been incredible to like grow that community throughout all of Raleigh and get to know so many awesome people.
So I have to ask you this question. This is an add-in question because I know everybody out there listening is wondering, what are your favorite spots? Just give me 2 or 3 favorite spots to shoot at in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Raleigh, Apex, the Triangle, you name it.
Right. Oh man, this is always such a tough one. And people ask me all the time, like, what are your favorite spots? And usually it's the next one. If the wilder, the better.
Yeah.
Right. So like last week we just stopped off on the side of the road and it was this beautiful, like, flower field, right? And I think the best spots are always like that. There are places I go to more often than others, right? Like downtown Raleigh, you've got like Union Station, the Dillon, the Warehouse District. All of those areas are just always so beautiful. And then I always like the natural areas as well. So you've got like the NC Museum of Art. They've always got really pretty like fields and flowers and that type of thing. So yeah, it's the hardest question to answer though.
Every video I do, I say, I don't know how we're ever going to top that one. And then the next one is even better. So I get the creative juices.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so we're on Instagram at Young and Free Seniors, and then our website is youngandfreeseniors.com, and anywhere else.
So if you don't follow her on Instagram, definitely go give a follow. Check her out. I highly recommend her. And you know, the whole motto of this show is sharing with you the people, places, and the businesses that you need to know in this market, and this is one of them. Not only is she an incredible human, a beautiful mother, an entrepreneur, but she is pouring into our children like no one else. And I'm just so proud to have you as a friend. I'm so glad that Caroline was on the show. And for those of you who are thinking about making a move within the Triangle, we want to be your first phone call. We help people relocate into the state. We help people relocate from Raleigh to Apex or Apex to Holly Springs. We would love to help you find your slice of heaven. Feel free to call, text, email, or just drop us a message and we will get back to you and make sure that you find your slice of heaven in Raleigh. And Emily and I think that Raleigh is an incredible place to live, and we hope you do too. So we drop a new episode of The Best of Raleigh every Friday on Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube. We'll see you in the next Best of Raleigh.